Johannes Vermeer is a special artist. Little is known about this artist, but his paintings often conjure up delicate visions where the kind of intense quiet pervades a room. As soon as my eyes catch up Vermeer, I feel as if I am with figures in it. Sometimes they turn towards me, but they are just mostly concentrating on their task, being mesmerized with their own inner thoughts. I'm just outside looking at them. The Roman Catholic Church and kings had been the primary patrons of artists for so long in the West. However, the Protestant culture had brought huge changes to Holland in the 17th century. Now we have in Holland artists that are painting for a wealthy merchant class instead of Mother Church or kings. The rich businessmen wanted small images of what's around us every day. Still lifes, landscapes, and images that depict everyday life of ordinary people called as genre painting. In those paintings are fleeting moments and hurly-burly and explicit food porns. They are straightforward. There's no subtlety about them. But Vermeer's paintings are so quiet, and he's unwilling to give us exactly what's about to unfold. We see this Vermeer's masterpiece, The Music Lesson. A woman in a vermilion skirt with a white blouse is standing there, playing virginal. A man in elegant black robe with white cuffs is watching her. There's a sense of distance between the two figures, but there's also a sense of tension between them. Seen from behind, the woman's face is hidden from the viewer, but her face in the mirror is twisted in his direction. The mirror is reflecting her inner thoughts. The man is standing like a statuesque, but according to infrared analysis, Vermeer first painted him leaning more towards her. They pretend to be looking in different directions, but in fact, they may be interested in each other. So the painting is about possibility. It depends on their choices. We don't know which way this is going to go. This is a sort of poetic moment. By leaving their relationship open, Vermeer gives us poetic feelings. I think we can find the most appropriate expression of this situation in a painting of Joseon Dynasty painter Shin Yun-bo. Light coming in through the window and the golden curtain casts a shadow on the wall. It gently illuminates the whole interior, including the woman's face and her fur-trimmed jacket. Vermeer lavished a delicacy on the tonality of the wall, of her face, of her jacket, of the balance and the valuables. Soft, deep, rich light is of concern to Vermeer. It is central to the power of him. Rembrandt was likewise fascinated by light effects, but his light draws us in the characters in his painting and suggests that we share their pain together. However, Vermeer's light is beautiful and subtle and poetic. It gives us a sense of permanence. In Vermeer's light, we feel the kind of complex static frozen quality. His contemporary painters like Yanpan Hoyen or Yakvan Royster depicted fleeting moments. We can see the clouds move across the sky, but Vermeer took on a timeless quality. The figures in a Vermeer stand still like a steel cut. Daylight permeates this room, and there are beautiful gradations of light on the white wall of the painting. It forms shadows. The shadows are transparent, so much so that we can see clear forms which are never lost in Vermeer's. Look at those wonderful kitchen implements, a brass pot, a wicker basket. Although they are in shadow, they don't lose their clarity. Look at the loaves of bread, the touches of light break their solid forms and make little points of light on the surface. There isn't something like Christ on the cross or something religious. It shows a scene of everyday life. There's a scene of intimacy. Vermeer's painting reminds us of beautiful things that in our everyday vision we don't pay attention to. However, there's much more going on in Vermeer's paintings. Vermeer often imbues his still life with religious or moral implication. A woman is playing virginal, which is a kind of piano in the 17th century in Holland, and it also alludes to the woman's virginity. The Cupid in the background is posing a question about her virginity or fidelity by holding the playing card, which means a love letter. The woman may be in process of being unfaithful to her husband. Not many people would think of a sense of moral inspiration in this image of a woman holding a balance. The balance is about to come into alignment, and on the table are valuables and weights waiting to be placed on it. The valuables, like strings of pearls, represent material wealth. In back of the woman, we can see a painting of the Day of Judgment. We can also see souls at the bottom of the painting. Some would be blessed, and some damned. On the Day of Judgment, Christ will weigh the souls of the blessed and the damned. Which way her balance going to go? To the blessed or to the damned? The earthly possessions on the table are a reference to the theme of vanity. We are still outside looking at them. Although Vermeer draws the curtain back and shows us the figures in the painting, he doesn't allow the figures to look at us. We are detached from the place. They orient themselves towards only their own task. Meanwhile, they are also alienated from the outside world. Although we see light come through from somewhere, we never see the outside. This is a world of perfect voyeurism. Sometimes they turn their eyes towards us, but we're just like a kind of coma to Vermeer. Just as a poet writes a poem or prose by inserting and omitting a comma, Vermeer just lets us watch outside for fear that we'll spoil the poem if we go one step further.